Okay, good and hello everybody. My name's Julie Antoniadis from Simply Lasting Powers of Attorney Somerset, and I'm delighted to be speaking to you about on Carers' Rights Week about powers of attorney. The reason powers of attorney are important are manyfold. Most of us don't realise that anybody over 18 we can't speak for them unless they've given us authority. And they need to give us authority by completing what's called a lasting power of attorney. Now, there's two lasting powers of attorney. There's one that covers everything to do with property and finance. So whether that's accessing bank accounts, if the person you're caring for cannot, or dealing with their pensions or benefits, or anything that's involved with the utilities that might be in their name in the house, that's what you need, the one for property and finance. With regards to the other power of attorney, it's for health and care. And as it says, it covers everything. So if your loved one doesn't have capacity that you're caring for, and you want to discuss everything with the medical team and be involved in the decision making, for example, where they might be rehabilitated, or whether they would be cared for at home, what care home they actually, if required, that they went into, what they like to eat, or anything like that, that will be covered by the health and care power of attorney. Excuse me. For both of them, any organisations, whether that be the National Health Service with regards to health, or any organisation with regards to finance, a bank or any other organisation, aren't actually legally able to give you information or allow you to discuss matters or give input without you being officially an attorney. So if you contact them and you're not an attorney, they have to say, unfortunately, we cannot speak to you, because legally they're not allowed to. And obviously that can cause problems. If you're trying to move some money so that they get a better interest rate, for example, or deal with property, and you don't have the authority, it's not the organisation being difficult. It is a law that nobody can help. You may well have been married to the person you're caring for decades, or you might be their sister, brother, adult child, but unfortunately that doesn't count in the eyes of the law without the power of attorney. Now, completing a power of attorney is very straightforward. It is a lengthy document, and as I said, there's two separate ones, one for health and one for finance. You can do them online, or you can do them in a paper copy. They're about 25 pages long each, and you would need to know who the attorneys were going to be. And I would always recommend there's more than one, in case for example, if you're the carer and you're an attorney, but perhaps you're tied up or you're unwell, then you can't speak for your loved one. If there's somebody else that's on that document, they can then speak. Also, your loved one needs to have capacity. So what I mean by that is they need to be able to understand and make the decision to actually complete the paperwork and be able to sign it. Having a diagnosis of dementia, for example, does not preclude them from having capacity. It could mean that they don't have, but it doesn't necessarily automatically mean. And you would need someone to sign to say they have capacity, and that could be a GP. It's something that I do for my clients, for example, something a solicitor could do, or other medical professional, or a professional person. So that's the process of completing it. It is unfortunately taking about 5 months to be registered currently, and that's registered with the government department, which are called the Office of the Public Guardian. Unfortunately, there's no way of speeding that up. So obviously, if we could do them way long before we might need them, that's that would be an ideal situation. In terms of age, it's not age related. I have people from the age of 20 who are completing their powers of attorney up to my oldest client who's recently turned 100. So it is something, as I said, that if we were incapacitated, either temporarily or permanently, perhaps we were unconscious for a period of time, that would be classed as incapacity. And our attorneys, who we actually decide to have, would then be able to step up and be our voice. And that's the important thing. It's being able to be your loved one's voice if they cannot be, and they cannot use theirs or communicate. Okay. Just trying to think what else to say. So yes, in terms of that, what I would say is, if you're not sure about anything, there's some fantastic resources out there. Age UK do some, I've got some really marvellous articles on their website that can help you. But I would say if you don't have this in place now, I would look into it. That would be what I would do. Get the details, give me a call. I will always chat with anybody, or email me. I'm more than happy to have a chat, or indeed contact a legal provider, and just have a look and see what it involves if you're unsure. But the alternative, if you unfortunately are in the position where you don't have a power of attorney, but your loved one is incapacitated, and you do either need to act with regards to their property, could be your joint account. If you have a joint account with someone who loses capacity, your joint account will unfortunately be frozen, and your direct debits or anything else that's set up will not be able to be paid, and you will not be able to access your funds. So I'm asked many, many times by bank managers to get the message out there, because obviously it's something that they loathe having to do is to freeze that account. So the alternative, as I've said, if there's no power of attorney in place, is to become a deputy. And that is by means of being court appointed. So you would have to complete quite a bit of legal paperwork and apply for a court date, which currently the earliest court date is 13 months away. And the cost of court fees, etc., is in the region of several thousands of pounds, depending on where you are in the country. So it's not something generally that we have in our back pocket, and the lengthy time and the stress, obviously, of wanting to help your loved one but being unable to, is something that would be better to be avoided. So that's a brief summary of powers of attorney. What I would hope that you take from this is some empowerment, in that there are things that you can do that will avoid sort of tricky situations in the future, and empower you to know that you can actually take control and do something. It's lovely, it's fantastic that it's Carers Week this week, and I'm delighted to be able to take part. And if there's any questions that anybody has at all, please don't hesitate to contact me. Thank you. Bye-bye.